Hi guys, how's everyone doing today? Happy Webinar Wednesday. And give it just another minute. Just let a couple more people join, and then we will kick this off. Hope everyone is having a good week. Nice music as we're waiting. I am trying not to bust out some dance moves right now for myself. Just more people rolling in. All right. Well, happy Wednesday. Thank you everyone for joining. I'm very excited to get to talk to you today. Just to kind of set the stage, so this is Webinar Wednesday. So Broadloom is hosting these every week moving forward. So hopefully you get a lot out of today's webinar and are able to continue joining week over week. But today we are going to talk to you about Built to Impress. Is your website winning or losing your business? So before I get started into the presentation, I first want to just quickly introduce myself. My name is Julie, and I'm our Director of Account Management at Broadloom. So my role is focused on elevating the customer experience with our company by delivering the value of our products and services. Now, as a fun fact, as you can see on the screen here, I do love singing karaoke. Now, I have to break some unfortunate news that I'm not going to be singing during today's webinar, but if you see me out at Surfaces or maybe at FloorCon 2022, there's a good chance you could get me up on the stage to sing. Now, I want to start today's webinar by asking just what seems like a pretty simple question. Is your website built to impress? So as we go into this, I want to think about a few facts that I think are pretty astonishing, to be honest. The first is that there are currently around 1.9 billion websites in the world today. It's a lot of websites. The second fact, it only takes a user about 50 milliseconds to form an opinion about your business based on your website to determine if they like you or not, whether or not they're actually going to stay on your site, and ultimately if they're going to trust your company to do business with. The last point here is that 89% of shoppers do online research before purchasing an item in the store. And of those shoppers, 50% are browsing on a mobile device. So looking at this, picture here, kind of flipping back and forth, I think we could all pretty much guess and agree on which website, just off of a first glance, we're likely to hold in a higher regard and ultimately to have a better user experience with. So kind of keep that in mind as we're going through today's content. And I want to focus on really 9 core components that we have found at Broadloom that really make a flooring website built to impress to help you win more business and ultimately to help you sell more flooring. So the first point is user experience. So as I just demonstrated, it is imperative that your website makes a compelling first impression with your customers. But the success of your website, it does not stop there. So even if you have the most beautifully designed website, you have a great homepage, you have a beautiful homepage banner, there's still some key elements that you need to make sure you are paying attention to keep those visitors on your site, to continue engaging them, and ultimately to convert them into a potential customer. So the first thing, as you can see, is clear site navigation and architecture. You don't want to make it difficult for a consumer to understand where they need to go next to figure out what they're looking for. You want it to be clear and easily, able to navigate to find different things on your website, such as your products or your About Us page or your reviews. You basically, at the end of the day, you want a user to be able to get to what they're looking for in as few clicks as possible. And not only does this help your users have a good experience on your website, but this is also really important for search engines when they're indexing your website. The second point is a responsive web design. So did you know that over 50% of our flooring retailers' website traffic comes from a mobile device? It's a lot. It's a big percentage. So what does that mean for you? Having a website that is responsive and is formatted for desktop, mobile, and tablet, it is critical for your company and for your website success. So what this means is that regardless of what type of device your browser's on, your website is built and optimized for an exceptional user experience. In addition to this, search engines like Google, they're also looking at the mobile friendliness of your website when it comes to a factor of your search engine rankings. So this is a really key component to make sure you're focusing in on. And then the last point here is call to actions. So great, someone lands on your website, you kept their attention. Now what do you want that person to do? Whatever that desired action is, you should be guiding the user to do this and making it very clear. So this could include a shop now button or, a request an estimate. You can even have click to call numbers on your website, especially on the mobile device, to make it very simple for someone to reach out and to contact you. So you have a website visitor that's on your website. Your job is to guide them and make it easy on what comes next. Now, the second component, which might be one of the most important things I go over today, and especially as an independent flooring retailer, is that your website tells your story. It's personalized. It emphasizes what makes you stand out in your market as your neighborhood's local flooring dealer. So this is something that comes up a lot when I'm talking to customers. And, I can't stress enough that taking the time to really identify what it is that differentiates you from your customers and sharing this through your website, whether that's through images or videos or your About Us page. Take the time to really craft that message and make sure it's compelling to your visitors and clear as they're going through and navigating through your website. Think about the box stores. As an independent flooring dealer, you have so many advantages to provide compared to the product and service that they offer. So whether that's your expert flooring consultants, the number of years that you've been in business, awards you've won, your involvement in the community, whatever it is that sets you apart as your local neighborhood flooring dealer, that's your chance to set yourself apart. So these are a few examples on the screen here. The third point is optimize content. So I think we all have to face it. Consumer shopping habits, they've changed. We live in a world today where most consumers prefer to self-educate themselves about the purchases they plan to make before they ever go into a store. The average consumer today spends 12 hours considering their flooring purchase decision, most of which is spent through that independent self-guided research. So establishing your floor or your store as a flooring authority with very relevant and unique content, it's going to help guide the consumer research and help provide your customer with the information they're looking for. Not only is this great from a user experience standpoint to make sure that your website contains that information and supports the research they're looking for, but this also is a big factor and can really help from an SEO standpoint to help nurture your search engine rankings over time. So when it comes to your website, when it comes to content, the rule of thumb is content is king, and you can't have too much of it to help guide those decisions and to help provide the search engines with that authority that they're looking for your overall rankings. The fourth point, similar to the last, is today's consumers spend an average of 12 hours researching flooring products online. But did you know that only 2 hours of that is actually spent in your store? So think about it. What does that really mean for you as a flooring dealer, and what does that mean for your website? Today's consumer expects your company to provide an online experience that is equal to, if not better, than your in-store experience. That's where they're starting. So if we're not capturing them and engaging with them and proving to them through your digital experience that you are the company that's best for them, they might not ever make it into your store. And one way that we can do this, and that's a great option, is through a product catalog. Think about all the websites we visit. We're going to Amazon, we're going to Target, and we want to see the variety. We want to be able to see what you have. And so having a product catalog on your site, it's going to allow a customer to browse through your products and to ultimately meet their expectations. That's what they're expecting of you. So think about, shoppers and consumers. We're all extremely busy in our day-to-day. I know I am. So if I'm going to take time on my Saturday or one of my evenings to go visit one of my local dealers, I want to be pretty confident that you're going to have something I like and that it's going to be a good use of my time. So at Broadloom, a product catalog is a core component of the website platform. I look at analytics every day, and I can tell you that, a product catalog, it is one of the most core components where a lot of our website traffic is going. So really, really key and important to your overall success. The next point, similar to the catalog, but I want to talk a little bit about AR visualization. So this is augmented reality. And I think we can probably all see and agree that this type of technology and this tool, it's becoming more and more common every single day. You're starting to see it pop up within different industries. But basically this tool, it's going to allow customers to better understand how the flooring products that they're interested in are actually going to look like in their own home. So what does this mean? You're going to have a more confident and a more comfortable consumer after this experience. So whether it's something that they are using, while browsing on your website, they can actually take a picture of their house and put, a flooring that's on your website into their home to visualize what this will look like. This is also a really great tool, for a lot of retailers and their sales teams. You're at, someone's house doing a measurement and looking at different flooring options. You can actually take this and, show the customer in the comfort of their own home what it's going to look like. And so our research actually shows that for consumers who use the AR visualization tools, it actually cuts down the time it takes a flooring dealer to make a sale by over 50%. So again, it's adding that convenience, it's adding that confidence, and especially when it comes to new floors. Point number 6, promotions and specials. So thinking about a website, I want you to think about one of the last websites you went to. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of different pages. You have product pages, you have information pages, and there's a lot to sort through. So one really key thing that you can do to set yourself up for success on your digital presence is help highlight different, products or promotions on your site to help engage your customer and drive them to specific things you want them to pay attention to. So a couple of ideas and things that we've seen work are featuring products. So whether it's in stock inventory or products that are on sale, especially in today's marketplace, featuring these types of products can really, really help with engagement with your customers and ultimately to help drive more conversions and to get your phones ringing. Another option, value offers. At the end of the day, I think all consumers like when there's a special or a promotion that you guys have going on. So including value offers, that could be a coupon, that could be, a semi-annual sale or a certain percentage off. These things can really help boost your online conversions, when presented properly throughout the website. The last piece is special financing. Flooring is a pretty high ticket purchase item. And so when looking at this, a lot of flooring retailers see a lot of success when it comes to offering flexible financing options for their customers. Again, it's one of those convenience measures. You want to make it easy and affordable for customers, as they're purchasing their new floors. So all of these things together can really help engage your customer, provide options that they're looking for, draw attention, and ultimately help you guys drive some more conversions. Now, I've been throwing the word conversions and conversion rates out there throughout this entire presentation. So point number 7 is your website has got to have conversion tools. It needs to be optimized to drive conversions. After all, that's why we all have a website. So a successful website, it's going to be structured so that it's extremely easy for your customer to figure out how to reach out to you. We don't want to make it difficult where they're searching for a form or they can't find your phone number. In fact, if it is difficult on your website today, there's a pretty good chance you might be missing out on some people who are on your site looking to reach out to you. So a couple conversion tools that we would recommend is, first of all, a form fill. I think we've all been to a website and we filled out a form. As a best practice, make these convenient. Have a form fill on every page, towards the top of the page, making sure someone doesn't have to scroll down too far. Especially on mobile, you want to make sure that these are prominently placed. It's also important not to include too many fields. If you've ever been to a website and they're asking you to fill out 50 different fields, there's probably a good likelihood you didn't end up filling it out. So less is more. We still want to capture, of course, relevant contact information, products that they're interested in, but form fills are a really great way to make sure your website is set up for success. The other piece is call tracking and recording. So call tracking can be a very powerful tool. Not only does this allow you to record your calls, understand the volume of calls coming from your website, but it's going to allow you to understand the quality. What are people calling in for? What are they interested about? How's your website working for you? But this can also be used as a tool to have transparency into, how your team is doing. You can use it as a way to boost sales by, providing coaching tips to your sales team. So it provides you with a lot of transparency about your business and the type of calls that are coming in and also how they're being handled. Next is probably one of my favorites, but web to text chat. So think about it. I'm not supposed to do this in a webinar, but we all have our phones right beside us all day long. And a lot of consumers' preferences today is to text. It's easy. I don't have to pick up the phone. It's convenient. And so enabling your website to be able to take a conversation with an active customer into the offline world through texting, it can be a game changer. I've actually talked to some customers that have said, hey, I really wish all of my leads came through, our Podium solution, which is who Broadloom partners with. It's easy. It's straight to the point. We receive higher response rate from a web to text solution. But again, it's providing your customer with a convenience and, of being able to text directly from your website. And then the last conversion tool here is sample ordering. So this would be providing your shopper with the ability to order a sample directly from your website. Generally, someone that's going to your site, browsing through your product catalog, going into, looking at sample ordering and building a cart to order samples, it's generally a pretty qualified consumer that's going to come through, and they're pretty far down the path to purchase their new floors. Our research actually shows us that websites with sample ordering can generate double the conversion rate. So it's another really great tool. Now I've got 2 components left, so I hope everyone's hanging in there with me. But for point number 8 is reviews. I think by now we all understand the importance of a review. We have to have them. We need to continue generating them. But even with that, studies into online reviews and how consumers react to them, they really do continue to defy our expectations, especially, throughout the pandemic. And it's driving the emphasis to have that experience online without having to go into a store. So here's 2 facts about online reviews that I thought were pretty interesting. First of all, nearly 9 out of 10 consumers worldwide make the effort to read a review before buying products. Now, I know we're on a webinar. If I was in person, I'd have you guys raise your hand and say who reads reviews before buying, especially for, a purchase such as flooring. I feel like 9 out of 10 hands would go up. The second point here is 78% of people trust online reviews as much, if not more, than they would a recommendation from a family member or a friend. So what does this mean for you? What does this mean for your website to make sure that it's winning? And so making sure that your website highlights your online reputation, it is key to winning you business. Without putting your reviews directly on your site, users would have to navigate away in order to find them, which would increase the likelihood that they're not going to return. So think about, if I have a fish on the hook and he got off the hook, he probably isn't going to come back and, jump at my bait again. And so when looking at that, we want to make sure that you have this set up on your website, full with functionality, keeping your reviews consistent. That's another important thing, is you want to make sure that, your reviews aren't just from 2 years ago. You want new reviews and you want to continue that funnel coming through. To Broadloom, we do work with one of our most powerful automated reputation management solutions out in the flooring industry. And this not only helps customers manage your store's online reputation, it helps display some top reviews in one place, but there's also a tool that will allow you to actually solicit new reviews from happy customers over time. So can't stress enough, make sure you're focused on reviews, make sure it's prominently placed on your website and that you're keeping up with that over time. So the final component of a website that is set up to help you win more business might be the most important. I think I've said that a few times. They're all important. But tracking and reporting. Owning a website that is not set up for Google Analytics is going to be like driving a car without a windshield. You don't know where you're going, what's working, what's not working. It's probably just not going to end good. So ask yourself, do you have a really nice design website, do you actually know how it's working for you? Do you know how many leads it's driving, how many visitors are coming, where your traffic is coming from? If you don't know the answers to these questions, I would encourage you to seek those answers as soon as possible and work to get set up with tracking and reporting. This can be your number one tool to help you drive your business forward. And getting that type of transparency to help you understand different aspects of the data of your website and how people are finding you, and also what other opportunities exist, that's key to your success. So make sure that's set up. So we got through all 9 points. And I want to stop for just a minute and focus on this slide. It's 2022 and the world of retail has changed. This is the new consumer experience that Broadloom is helping flooring dealers deliver. But a website that is built to impress is a fundamental aspect of your not only customer's journey when it comes to shopping for floors, but ultimately for your business's bottom line success. So I'll leave you with a few key takeaways today. We discussed a lot, but if you can take anything out of this, these would be my 3 points. The first is that first impressions matter. Remember how many people are shopping from mobile. Remember how many people are going online first. If you get a chance for someone to land on your website, make sure it's a lasting one. Make sure it's an impression that, makes a difference for that customer and makes them feel good right away. I know it's common to hear the saying, don't judge a book by its cover. Unfortunately, that's not so true when it comes to how users browse on websites. So make sure your site makes a lasting first impression is critical. The second would be match your digital experience to your in-store experience. I know we talked on this for quite a bit, but remember, almost 90% of your shoppers start their buying journey online. So providing your customers with an exceptional digital shopping experience that first they're expecting, it's key to your business's success. And then the third point, measure your success. We just spent some time talking on this too, but you can have the best web design in the world, but is it actually working for you? Is it driving you business? Is it delivering leads? Is, our customers able to find the information that they're looking for? This is critical, key to your success, to make sure that you have set up and that you easily can understand how your website's working for you. So I appreciate everyone's time this afternoon. And those are the 9 components to how to make sure your flooring website is set up for success. So with that, I definitely want to thank everyone for their time and attention this afternoon. And I would love to open up for some QA if there's any questions. All right, we have a question. So first question, what pieces of content do you recommend to showcase on your website? That's a solid question. I would say we get that quite a bit when working with flooring dealers. So I think my advice there and what I would encourage is think about, what are your customers asking you? What are they looking for? What are they researching? And so the content on your website, it needs to be relevant to your consumer's experience. And as they are, again, going through that self-guided research, you want to make sure that your website is delivering and answering those questions and providing that value. That's what's going to help them engage and stay on your website. So that could be through information pages, thinking about, do you have information on all of your core product types? So hardwood, carpet, etc. Just information about the benefits of it. But you also could think about a blog. That's another really good solution, not just from a user experience and providing that type of information a customer's looking for, but also from a search engine experience. That's a great way to nurture the SEO on your website and to feed search engines with new content that's relevant, helping to establish more authority on your website. So I hope that helped. Got another question. What kind of value offers do you see to be the most successful? This is definitely a fun question. We've tested a lot at Broadloom when it comes to just different offers. So whether it's a coupon, a percentage, an end of year sale, we've really seen a lot of success with the coupon offers. A lot of customers, it's driving a lot of conversions. And so the way that the coupons, we've set them up is basically whether it's $500 or $1,000 off, there would be a 10% discount for the consumer's next purchase. So I would say coupon offers, we've been using them for a while now, but they're still converting extremely well and helping customers close more deals. Next question. So how to impress customers if there's a lot of flooring stores around me? That's a really great question, Alex. And so I think a lot of these things that we covered from the components hopefully help speak to that. But I really think it's going to come down to that second component, which is telling your story and understanding what it is about your company that's going to set yourself apart from other retailers. And, with that, I've seen a lot of customers really take the time and devote it to creating video content, telling their story, getting involved in the community, and really trying to highlight that on the website. Because at the end of the day, people want to do business with people they trust and people that are involved in the community. We want to do business with a local neighborhood flooring dealer. And so that would be my number one recommendation is all of these components are going to help make sure you're setting yourself apart. But if there is, a lot of customers within your area, it's really going to come down to the personalization, telling your story and getting your story out there. That would go a long way. So hopefully that helps. All right. Well, I think that is all that we have time for this afternoon. And I really hope you guys were able to get some value out of that conversation today. And just as a reminder, this will be a weekly webinar. So next week, please tune in and we'll have some announcements later this week or early next week about who's speaking and the agenda. But very excited to be able to present to you guys today. And if you do end up having any other questions, certainly reach out and we can help you guys out. But thanks so much.